In this video, we'll use some of the Java Stream API methods and try to use them with the help of one example. So for that, we'll use an employee class which has the following fields. There is an empid of type string, age of type int, name type string, gender type char, and salary type int. Now we have to go through all these requirements. That's what we have to implement. So first is get employee count by gender, then get max salary by gender, get employee with max salary by gender, get sum of salaries by gender, get sum of salaries of all employees, get the list of employees having salary greater than 20k and less than 50k, get the list of all employee names, get the list of all employee names in sorted order, and then group the employees by gender. So we need to do all these things. For that, we'll see what all methods of Stream API can be used. So I've already created a basic structure. So we have a employee class ready, which has these fields, constructor and getters, and also a toString method so that I can get a meaningful output if I try to display a EMP object or employee object. Then there is another class where I have already created some object of these employee class and added into a list. Use the asList utility method of arrays class to create this list. So we have that list as the empty list, and I've already created an object also of this class. So with that, we have the basic structure in place, and now we'll try to do the first thing, which says get employee count by gender. So if you see here, we need by gender, that means a condition, which means filter method of Stream API, and count is also a method in Stream API, so we can use that. So let's try to implement that. What we need to do is get employee count by gender. So we'll try to create it as separate method so that we can use the same method with different options and name it get employee count by gender. There I need to pass the list, name it employee list, and gender, because that is what the condition need. Public and count actually returns a long, so we can also use the same thing as our return type in this method. Now with that, what we need is a stream so that we can get our list elements as a stream. Then we need to filter based on gender. So filter can use predicate implemented as lambda expression, and then count. That's what we can return. So stream, then filter with the condition. So predicate, you see filter needs a predicate functional interface, or it takes predicate functional interface as a parameter. So you need to implement that. That is done as a lambda expression where you say, okay, I need all the employees having this specific gender, which is passed here. So it will filter out other gender and give you only those employees having the past gender, and then you count those elements in the stream. So I can call this method here get employee count by gender, pass it this list, and one character, let's say M, what we get is a long, take it in a variable, then I can show it here. Can do the same thing again and quickly change it to female F, and here also. Now if we run it, we get the count 2 and 3, which is correct. So that is our first method where we get the count by gender using filter and count methods. Now if you see the second one, it says get max salary by gender. That means we have to get the maximum salary by gender. Again, one condition, which means filter, and max is also a method in Stream API, so we can use that. Salary by gender, it will have the same parameters. We'll just copy it from here. This part is also same. So we get the stream, we filter it so on the specific past gender, and then we need max, which actually if you see takes a comparator as parameter and returns an optional. So optional gives you more control over checking null. So first thing is comparator. So either you can implement it as a lambda expression. One more thing here is, which is missing, how you will get the salary part. So for that we have to use map so that we can get the specific part, or you can say you change your element from one type to another. Since we need only salary part, what we can do is this also. Then we'll have two salaries, as you can say for comparator you need two objects, right? So we can name them S1 and S2, and difference will do. What it gives you is a optional, so you can take it as a optional integer. You need to, then you can check with that. You have some methods. If it is available, then only you get that. If that is not done, I can return 0. Then I can give that as my return type. So this will be the method for get max salary by gender. I can call that get max salary by gender, and again I can pass specific gender. So int max salary equal to, right? So I can call it, if you see, I get the max salary for female. And this is the maximum. We can also change it a little map. We can make it even more shorter by using reference method reference. So I can say employee get salary. Same way here, integer already has a compare method. I can use that. And for optional also, actually there is a or else method. You can use that. Either you give the value if it is present, you have that value, or I can just pass 0. Then I don't need this also. Now it is anyway returning int, so I need only int and max salary. I'll name it, and that's what I can return. So now it looks better. Same way, if I want, I can do the same thing for m. Change here for male. So get max salary by gender. That means again a condition by gender, which means filter, and we need only the salary part. So we have to use map method to extract specific part of the object, or you can say transform from one type to another using map. Then max, which needs a comparator, that you can either use as or implement as a lambda expression as I showed before, or there is already a compare method in integer, so I can just reference it. That will be taken as an implementation of comparator. Max returns an optional which has a or else method. It says if a value is present, return that value, otherwise return other value. So as other value, I just give 0, and we have this method also implemented. Then we have get employee with max salary by gender. So here if you see, it is same, only difference is now you want the whole object. Just take the same thing and I'll add employee also in this. Employee max salary by gender. Here also this part is same. Only thing is now I don't need map actually, right? I still need to filter, but I don't need to map it to specific part. I can directly come to max. There if you see, now you have the object itself. So if you want to implement it as a lambda expression, it will be something like this. It will get employee objects, so I can name them E1 and E2, and then I can do like this, get salary or get salary, and then again I can just say or else, and this will return the employee object. So I can return null if we don't have a value in optional. So method here is this. I can take that. I'll just add this part is same. We can take from here, and we have a method call which will give me value. Just rephrase it. I wrote it employee with max salary mail. I'll just print the name in this. So emp dot get name. Same thing if you want to do with different gender. And that's it. So we have the names. You see, male and female, max salary. And here again in max, we have other option which is comparator dot comparing method, which takes the can say field on which you want to sort. That again I can pass as a method reference. So rather than having my whole implementation using lambda expression, there is already a method comparing which does the same thing. I can use that and pass here the field on which I want to sort. With that also I should get the same thing. Now coming to the fourth method, get sum of salaries by gender. Or actually you can copy this one and make change in itself. Get sum of salary by gender. Get sum salary by gender. This part is same. Then again I can use stream and filter. Sum of salary by gender. Again I need salary part only, so map. And then there is a sum method, but one thing is that if you try to use here it won't work. But there is a specific map method which gives you an integer string that is mapped to int. With that you have access to sum method also, because now we know that what you are getting as stream is number. Let's say sum salary, and we can return this sum salary. You can use almost same thing here. So within this I can change it to sum salary, sum salary by gender. Same thing here, sum of salary, sum of salary. Okay, sorry, let me change it here also, here also, here also. There is some mistake still. Forgot the semicolon. With that, if you see sum of salaries for female 90,000, male 34,000. If you check 7 plus 18 25 plus 65 90 and 5 plus 29 34. So that gives you sum of salary by gender. Again, it is very similar to what we did here. We need filter and map and then some method which is available only if Java is sure that you are going to use a stream of numbers. So there are specific map implementations for in stream, double stream. If you go here, you can check map to double int long. So you can use that. After that, get sum of salaries of all employees. So that is also, if you see, what you need is of all the employees. So we don't need to do any filtering here. Let's take the same thing. Click int, get some salary, all employees. Name it that employee list. In this, we don't need gender in that case, and we don't need any filtering. So I'll call it here. Same thing here. I'll change the method name to get some salary all employees and remove the gender part, and that's it. Actually, why do I need two calls now? Right? Sum of salary all employees. So you don't need different calls. That will do. So that is, if you check here, 5 plus 7, 12 plus 18, 30, 59, and 564 and 6124. That's what you get here. So that means sum of salary for all employees is also working. After that, we have get the list of employees having salary greater than 20k and less than 20k. That means within a range. So here again we have to have the list. With that we need a range. That means int lower, int higher. So if you see here also we need salary in range. We need the list of employees having salary greater than 20k and less than 50k. What we need here is list of employees and salary condition. So we need filter and list of employees. Two things, not int but list of employee, which means we have to use collect method to collect it into a list. So we'll start with the same thing, list, and we have to here get the salary in range. That means we have to first get the salary part, or we can directly go and do here using filter also, since we need the whole employee. Dot get salary is greater than equal to lower. So that will give us all the employees having salary within this range. And use condition with and also within filter. So we can give more than one condition as a compound condition. Then we need to store the filtered employees in a list which fulfill this criteria or this range of salary. For that, there is a collect method and a collectors utility class which gives you a method to convert your stream to list. Okay, we have already used EMP list, so I'll change it to employee list, and here also I can return the same. So salary in range, and call salary in range which needs EMP list and two values. Here actually if you see I said greater than 20k and less than 50k. So we should not have equal to. Will return me a list of employees which have salary within the given range. Okay. So there is only one employee has a salary within the given range. Let's check out. So actually, yes, this is the only one having salary within the given range. After that, we have get the list of all employee names. Then we have get the list of all employee names in sorted order. So get the list of all employee names. If you see again, we need a list, that means collecting same way, and all employee names, that means no filtering. So this part is same. Get all employee names. We need the list also and nothing else. So we can stream, and then since we need only the map name part, so we can use the map method with employee and reference the name method. That's what we can collect to the list. Correct. With that we have names. That means we don't need the employee but the string. So I can call get all employee names using this object which will have this EMP list. What it returns me is a actually string. Can name it employee names and I can print it. With that, if you see, we have the name of all the 5 employees. Another one is getting the same thing but in sorted order. Get all employee names. So for that, let's copy the same thing and change it here. So get all employee names in order. Name it, and here before collecting it, we need to sort it. So there is a sorted method which we can use. Since we have string, we have already converted it to a string, so we can directly use sorted only. There is also a sorted method where we need to pass comparator, but string already does that, so we can directly use it. But if we are using any custom object, then we have to pass that comparator implementation also. So for us or for our work, this will do. You can use the same object, employee names, pass the employee list, and if everything is correct, we should now get the name in sorted order. So MRRRS, which looks okay. So we come to the last problem, which is, or the last requirement, which says that we have to get the group of employees by gender. For that, we can use the collectors.grouping by method, which actually gives us a group based on the key you pass with grouping by method. So it will create groups based on that key. Whichever element or object has that field or that particular key will be placed in that group. So let's try to do it. So we can create another method, get employee groups. Here again I'll pass the same list, and this won't return anything. So what we can do is, first is same, we have to get a string from that list. Then we can call collect method. Within that, collectors dot grouping by, and here I can pass the key. So what we need is gender, right? So gender. So based on this key, it will create different groups and it will return a map actually, where key will be this key which is passed here, key will be this field which is passed here, and value will be the list of employee which belong to that particular key. So based on our example, we'll have two lists, right? One with male employees and one with female employee, and key will be M or F. For that we have used character. So here also key will be character and value will be a list of employee. So that's what we'll get here. If I print this map directly, the map, I have to call this method. So I can go up, call it from here, Okay, I have to pass this list also, right? So we'll pass this list, and if I run it, you see there is this entry for map where you can see key is F and then the list of employees belonging to that group. Same way, we'll have another key M and list of employee belonging to that group. So that's how you can create groups using collectors.grouping by method. If you want to iterate that map, you can do that. So first way is to get the entry set that will return a set which will contain the map.entry values, right? So again, map.entry, and that also will have the same key and value. So I can just copy it from here. So map.entry for each key value pair, right? Which is character and list of employee. With that, I can iterate this set. So for and copy this thing again. Entry from EMP set. Then I can check if entry dot get key equal to F. Then I can just print first list of female employees, and then I have to iterate again our list which is having employee object. So I can do it like this, and this side will be entry dot get value. Since I've already implemented toString in my employee class, so I can get some value by printing directly this object. And else part will be again very similar, and create a separate method also to bring this common thing there. For now, let's go with this. And if you see, now I have the list of female employees and list of male employees. So I can iterate this hash map of list by using entry set. That is one way. Another way is for each, which is there from Java 8 onward. So I can do emp map dot for each. This will give me key value pair. So key value, and for that I can again check if key equal to F, then and else. There it will be very similar, so I can just bring from here. This will become value. Same way here, this will become value. So that's another way you can iterate this hash map of list using for each method. For each key value pair you get, where key will be the character, gender, and value will have the list of employee belonging to that particular group. So that's how I can iterate it. If you see, I will get the same thing again: female employee, male employee, and correct values. So that's how we can do these problems by using some of the methods: filter, map, collect. So that's all in this video. Thanks for watching it.